Watson and Cricket, two young boys in Cambridge, working overnight, thinking more than they should, breaking new areas. And these two young guys in Cambridge came bursting into the cafe called the Eagle, and then they put on the table what they did at night. And it was one of the biggest breakthroughs in science since Darwin. So science was being modeled, more or less, on what these two young people did, bringing two disparate things together. And I respect that, and I try to see what should we do thinking in that way in art. In short, in science, typically, things can be broken down into certain elements. These are elements that have a structure. A structure, more or less like engineering or in architecture, is the way in which one can really come down to the basics, the very, very basics. So, I was inspired by what happened with the great breakthrough of the double helix. So, I was not trying to imitate or explain or illustrate what these two great young people could do. But I want to do something that would honor them. So doing this, they would understand very well. I'm breaking the laws of nature. I'm not doing it exactly as in nature, but the principle is there. The repetition of one element only. One element which can float into a you could say into a cycle, elevating cycle. And that I could do by steel, using steel, and I could do it on a large scale, it would be better. So that was the background, in a way, for what I could do now some years ago in what we call here the double helix. And we built it thinking of the element. That is one step only. Only one step, then the next step, then the next step, and the next step. But they would go in that way, a spiral one way, and then another in a spiral the other way. And where they touch is stability, and there is magnificence. So it is not intended to be a beautiful work of art. No, it will be beautiful because it is really good, really systematic, and really beautifully made. It has to be made really, really well. And so with that, we found a very good friend, actually, who could do the construction of one step. We could develop a system of building. So it was actually in construction. No column, no. But only the part of a step as it goes around.
Was wir beim Entwurf und beim Bau dieser Helix absolut beachten müssen, ist, dass die Präzision so perfekt ist, wie es nur eben geht. Da stört nicht der geringste Schweißpunkt irgendwie die Optik. Und man hat den Eindruck, als wenn das Material aus einem Stück geschnitten wäre. Und genau das ist das, was wir damit bezwecken wollen. Wenn man in Summe diesen Helix sieht, und nicht eine einzige Schweißnaht irgendwie das Bild stört, dann haben wir unser Ziel erreicht. Wir wollen einfach nur dieses Spiel zwischen Schatten und Licht. Ja, und das ist das, was ein Schliff beim Edelstahl absolut unterstützt. Wenn man beispielsweise eine grüne Umgebung hat, dann sind die Unterseiten von dem Edelstahl grün, vom Licht angeleuchtet. Ja, und wenn die Sonne kommt oder hier im Schatten irgendwo ist, dann haben wir schon 3 verschiedene Stimmungen an diesem Objekt. Ich sag mal, diese Art Qualität kann man nicht mehr steigern. Die sind einfach nur perfekt. Um die Perfektion beim Zusammenbau zu haben, haben wir Konus angedreht hier, mit dem die Findung für das nächste Teil absolut perfekt ist. Und die Innenflansche, die da drin sind, die versetzen immer genau um ein Loch praktisch die Stufe, wenn das jetzt gestapelt wird. Und deswegen, also von der eigentlichen Befestigung, wie das Objekt gebaut wird, sehen wir eigentlich gar nichts. Also die Verschraubung ist komplett unsichtbar. Die Statik kommt komplett über die Innensäule, die wir hinterher absolut nicht sehen.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics. Perhaps the most famous classic in all the world of music.
Side or this side. We finally decided on this side because it's more observable from this road over here. I mean, it's big enough, everybody can, this is the main entrance to Loma Linda.
Sure.
This pathway is what we call a Centennial Pathway. So this is a major pathway for pedestrian traffic, and this is a major pathway for car traffic. So we think it's the best side.
And we're looking, I mean, even 100 years will be here, no?
Yeah.
We are gone, but this will be here.
Oh, very nice. Well, yeah, no, we can put that up.
We thought it was on the, we'd like to have it low.
Father, thank you for the beauty of this art. It reminds us that science is art and art is science. Thank you all once again for a beautiful visit.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure for us to be here.
That is what we built. And we have got now some kind of documentation in which we know more about Watson and Cricket. But it will never be that we can do something that was so good and spontaneous in such a structure that looks almost like a shell as nature would have made it. But it's not imitating nature, not in any way. It is pure, pure sculpture.
See the oranges? They're just in time now. Morning. Right.